Okay, so Dragon Ball haters, they kind of be like, oh my god, like, Dragon Ball Super is still going, the Dragon Ball franchise, like, Akira Toriyama just does not stop. He's always trying to milk it. Toriyama, you just gotta stop. Dragon Ball Super is just like, it's shit, okay? Like, One Piece and Naruto is just so much better. Like, look at Sasuke's hair. Like, does Goku have hair like that? I don't think so, okay? He doesn't have that smoothness, okay? Vegeta, just saying, a little Roge, okay? Like, Dragon Ball Super just needs to go, okay? It needs to go, folks. Like, Naruto already outdid it, okay? Like, it's just straight up shit, okay? Like, Dragon Ball, just stop, okay? Toriyama, just stop. Like, it's no good, okay? Like, you need, like, some good stuff in your life. Like, take a cue from One Piece, baby. Like, look at that straw hat, that straw body, like, yeah, Dragon Ball, just put it down, Toriyama. Stop milking that money, okay, Toei, I see you there. So today I wanted to address an elephant that has been in the proverbial room for a while now, and that's the fact that there is a lot of hate and a lot of down talk about Dragon Ball Super. People say, like, I made a video, I think like a week ago, talking about when Dragon Ball Super got its greatness. People were like, what greatness are you talking about, for Never World? Dragon Ball Super is shit. In fact, Dragon Ball as a whole is just trash. Fuck that shit. One Piece for life, Naruto for life. You don't know some quality anime and mangoes, bro. What are you doing? And to that I say, by letting people just enjoy what the fuck they want to enjoy. But to get a little bit more specific, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of hate for Dragon Ball Super, especially with even the Goku Black arc. Before that, from the moment it came out, a lot of people, there was always some sort of hate. There was always the ongoing thing for just in general, like, oh, Dragon Ball shit, fuck that shit. So those are the people that they're gonna hate one way or another just because they think Dragon Ball is trash. Then it started off with the hate of people like, it's readaptation arcs, who gives a fuck or whatever, which honestly, to a certain degree, I can say, okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Why the fuck would I care about readaptations of something that I can watch 2 films and be on my way? Why am I gonna watch dragged out, on top of that, lesser quality versions of those films? So I understand that argument. Then we got to Universe 6 and people were still on it like, fuck this shit, this tournament is ass, it's supposed to be funny, it's boring, there's no good fights. We had hit, and then, oh no, all you had is one fight, and that fight was shit anyways, fuck that shit. So that's where it continued there. Then of course we had the Goku Black Zama's arc, and there was hate there as well. Zama's is shit, Goku Black is stupid, the mystery, the revelation of who he is dumb as shit, this whole arc doesn't make sense. I will say to the end of the arc, it was a little bit nonsensical, and it kind of just went left field or whatever, but ultimately, that has been the criticisms, and of course people are saying that the next arc is gonna be shit, and Dragon Ball Super in general, some people even go as far as to say it's a stain on the Dragon Ball legacy. Like, you know, you compare it to Z and it's shit. People will even go as far as to say this taboo thing right now, which I honestly feel disgusted to say, that Dragon Ball Super is worse than Dragon Ball GT. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. Woo, woo. Yeah. So that's another thing that people say. Honestly, for starters, let's look at Dragon Ball as a whole. Even from Dragon Ball, the original series, where Goku was a little kid, and of course, you know, he kind of grew up towards the end of Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball has always been a simple series. It's always been a simple story. It started off with martial arts elements, and granted, you could put up the argument that Dragon Ball, when he was younger, was a bit more on the quality level, because it was a little bit more thought out with certain aspects, but Dragon Ball has always been zany, silly, and ultimately it was just a simple story. It had some fun shit to it, it had fantastical adventures, funny stuff, but it's always been a simple story. So when people come at it, and for example, one of the arguments that I just mentioned is, oh, it's shit compared to all of the other Dragon Ball stories or whatever. Well, people said the same thing about Z in comparison to Dragon Ball when that was a thing, and then now people are saying that against, you know, Z or whatever, and honestly, let's take a look at Dragon Ball, and this is not to throw shade at Dragon Ball Z, because I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's still one of the best pieces of animated action ever. Dragon Ball Z's action is bar none some of the best stuff. It's amazing or whatever. Like, I don't care what anyone says. The action is uncontested as awesomeness, alright? But just think about it, okay? Aliens came to Earth. Goku had to get stronger. He went to another planet, had to beat some aliens. You get what I'm saying? He came to Earth, he had to beat some robots. You get what I'm saying? An evil alien came. Like, Dragon Ball has been a simple story. Now, if you wanted something deep and complex, for starters, why are you dipping into the shonen genre anyway? If you've seemingly don't even like it, because that's kind of what the shonen genre is. It's pretty simple. It might get a little philosophical. It could even get complex. There's some shonen manga that they kind of dip out of the range or whatever, but shonen manga is supposed to be enjoyable for pretty much all ages. And that's what Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, anybody can enjoy them, because they're simple enough that a kid or a young teenager or whatever can get into it, and it has those elements that like a teenager would like, of fighting, or even kids would like to see that shit. And then it got the elements that it's wacky, so older people can enjoy it, and sometimes even stuff like, you know, certain arcs or whatever will have a little bit of complexity enough where people that want that shit will get it. But shonen anime in general is for all ages, and Dragon Ball has always embodied that, which is why it's become so big and such a global phenomenon for fucking 30 years, is because it fits the ranges for everybody. And if you're coming at Dragon Ball to begin with about it's not deep and complex enough, or it's just plain shit, just pick up this series and go sit down and you'll be fine. That's it. Like, go read stuff like this. If you really can't handle that Dragon Ball isn't this deep and complex series that it never was intended to be, then go ahead, go read some of this and relax. Because honestly, a lot of the hate for Dragon Ball Super is unwarranted, and I do think to a certain degree that a lot of the hate that does come its way is from the people that are more, honestly, hardcore into any type of literature, whether it be manga, whether it be, you know, comics or whatever. They're deep into it, and they read stuff like Berserk, for example, or something that is a lot more deeper and complex than Dragon Ball, so they go back to it, and even though when they were a child they might have liked it, they look at it now and they're like, oh, it's straight trash, because they grew up and they read stories that were more complex, and they forgot to begin with Dragon Ball was never like that. Like, people like to say that Z was this masterfully told series, and no. Dragon Ball Z was a very fun and awesome, exciting, action thrilling type of series. That's what it was. It was never this deep and complex thing. Sure, it had some undertones of like Vegeta getting over his pride. It did have little themes in there, but ultimately I think people just forgot the fact that that's been Dragon Ball. So to say in general that Super is a stain on the legacy of Dragon Ball Z and everything that it was, that's ridiculous. I think you just forgot what Dragon Ball Z is, and maybe you've had that on such a pedestal to begin with that it's gonna look like shit no matter what, because Super, again, is Dragon Ball. And honestly, having Akira Toriyama on board makes it even more like Dragon Ball, because the comedy's there, elements that have been throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball is there. And then, of course, one of the biggest things that we mentioned earlier, the GT comments. Basically, Dragon Ball Super is worse than GT. GT had a couple of good things running for it. Had a pretty cool opening, like, you know, the original opening before Funimation edited it or whatever. Like, okay, cool concept, whatever. It's a cool concept, fine. Goku's young, whatever. Had a great ending. I will honestly argue GT's ending is phenomenal. A great cap to the Dragon Ball franchise. Well, I guess it's not a cap anymore, but ending for GT, great. Had some pretty dope music here or there, the Japanese music or whatever. Well, I would argue some of the Funimation stuff, honestly, I enjoy it, whatever, maybe it's nostalgia, but that's besides the point. And that's about it. Like, the beginning arcs when they try to do the Dragon Ball-esque type of things with the comedy and like, power, like all of that shit, horrible. The baby arc, it was alright at times. It was a little bit nonsensical, similar to the same shit people come at Super for, but it was okay. Super 17 stuff, like, honestly, I would say that Super 17 stuff was probably the most exciting stuff for me, aside from maybe some of the Dragon shit later on, but maybe the Super 17 stuff was cool. Again, a little bit nonsensical, and then the Dragon stuff in general was like, half of it is like Pan yelling, being a fucking idiot, and yeah, so Dragon Ball GT didn't have elements like Super. Like the Battle of Gods stuff in the beginning, whether it's a re-adaptation or not, the source material itself from the movie, it was good. It was enjoyable. There's this god, Goku has to fight him, and one of the best things is Goku doesn't save the day. It was basically that Beerus had mercy for Earth, and had mercy because Goku gave him such a challenge that stopped it. And that was such a radical departure for Dragon Ball in general, because it's always like, Goku comes, saves the day, Kamehameha, show is done. It's nothing to see here, folks. But that wasn't the case for the Battle of Gods arc. Now Frieza, I would still say that the Frieza thing, it was enjoyable for what it was worth, but it was kind of like he came back as a punching bag, and honestly, in retrospect, if you think about it, even in terms of the film, and even the TV adaptation, it was essentially like a training arc. It was kind of like a training arc. And honestly, the elements for the Universe 6 arc, where it was, for the most part, it had a lot of comedy in it, but when the fights got serious towards the end against Hit, where do you get anything in GT that was better than that? Like, it was dramatic in GT because Super, up until I would say the Goku Black arc, didn't have any of those larger than life fights except maybe the Beerus fight, but then of course we found out that in the end it was kind of a bluff because Beerus didn't do anything, Frieza wasn't really much, and the Universe 6 tournament was not a serious thing. It was a tournament, it was just, you know, for fun in a way or whatever. So maybe that's why people look at it and they say they were fighting for their lives against Baby and 17 and the Dragons, and up until that point it wasn't the case. But does something need to be more dramatic for it to equal better? Does drama equal, like, okay, if this has a level of 8 drama and this has a level of 5 drama, does that mean the level of 8 drama is automatically better? And then we had the Goku Black and Zama's arc where we saw our heroes struggle. Goku, Trunks, Vegeta, they got the shit kicked out of them, and that's where the drama came in. And you compare that, like the mystery and everything, like granted, yes, the end of the arc was a kind of what the fuck happened, like what is this, what's going on or whatever. So there's an argument to be had there, but as far as comparing Super to GT, that's ridiculous. Honestly, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, from a hardcore Dragon Ball fan that I've seen the entirety of the series many times over, just like a lot of you guys, Super is what Dragon Ball's always been, a mixture of action, awesomeness, intensity, comedy, and just being what Dragon Ball is. And it's a lot more true to what Dragon Ball was between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z than GT will ever be. So honestly, I think that that claim is ridiculous, and a lot of the hate towards Dragon Ball Super is very unwarranted, and I think it's misplaced, and it's simply the fact that people forgot what Dragon Ball Z was to begin with. It was never incredibly masterfully told, detailed to the T, like a Monster or a Berserk or a Fate Zero. It was just a really awesome action series with some really cool characters and some really cool transformations and really cool battles. That's Dragon Ball Z, and that's what Super's been embodying as well. But let me know what you guys think about this topic. Have you seen it around the community, the Super anime, the Dragon Ball franchise in general being attacked recently for a while now, actually, regarding its quality, and people saying it's a disgrace to Z and GT is better? Like, what is your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that? I made this video because I kind of wanted to express my frustrations with that, when it's almost as if people forgot what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was to begin with, and your overall thoughts of this discussion. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And one more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. Fun up world, and as always, people, have an awesome day. I think I'm coming down with something. I think it's an allergic reaction of some sort. I think I'm being allergic to boredom. I need something right now. Oh god. Oh, something just clear this infection of whatever it is. Oh, Chopper, get the fuck out of here. You can't do shit. Some anime. Oh, Naruto, Lee, get out of here. Better call
Mom and having to teach myself. That's pretty cool. And then I have this one. I got, after a piece that was made, of a wolf and a moon cat. It was just a print that I saw. I'm pretty sure someone was going to tag me there. I'm not 100%. It's good to make it. Patterns for the memorial to keep. And I was I wanted to make it something that I got to see regularly. And so I decided to get like a different version on my leg. And I just got some trees. It's evergreen state. And then I got and then I got a teepee, the silhouette of a teepee on my back. just because I've been on my own for a long time, and having a solo TV, I don't know. You look hungry, you. Okay. I'm always hungry. I'm hungry 80% of the day. And what? So explain the outfit. Well, this is the magazine page, so I wanted to be able to, you know, you saying try it, but no tail, with all these name tags. I just appreciate my, culture. Alright. But I'm wearing this so you guys can actually see my tattoos. You guys don't have to hate, you don't have to watch. Use that, I don't know, I don't really care. The wolf, thank you. Jonathan, my app's deleted. My Snapchat was deleted, and I don't think I'm gonna add a new one, TT Lily Taylor. But I don't know if I'm gonna use it like I used the other one.
Double kill. An allied fort has fallen.
You guys, I have an important question. I know this is gonna sound stupid some, but to me, it's something I like really like. What Hogwarts house do you belong to? That's fucking serious. Say hi to Steve Thompson because he's watching. What up, Steve? That Bob on back. Yep. There's Bob Marley back there.
Enemy hero terminated.
Shan, listen, it doesn't matter. I'm young. I'm doing whatever I want. Like, sorry, Shan.
Enemy defeated. Enemy team annihilated.
Destined.